Tonight we're going to do uh, another review of things that I'm going to do in the garden coming up this uh, season. And I plan to build an arbor here, and this says we're with teamwork. We'll be reviewing this. What I'm going to do is similar to what I'm going to do, but I probably won't do this elaborate one, but maybe I will. I think I can do that with, I'm going to be doing it with pallet wood, and you'll see what I'm going to do. I'm going to take the 4x4s that I got from a fence post. I'm going to put them together and stick them in the ground, and then I'm going to put slats in there and maybe some lattice or stuff like that. But I think I can do it with all pallet wood and reclaimed lumber. The next one that we're going to look into is I was thinking of we did the critters that with the birds gathering critters already. Go back. I think I can link it to the other one. I did. I will show you the trellis. It says recycling to make a trellis. Okay. I will take a look at that. And then I want to show you that we did talk about the critters and what I'm doing, the critters you want to gather, making a birdhouse and stuff like that. We discussed that. Now what we're discussing is the trellis and an arbor. I'm thinking of making something like that, but this is more along the line that I want to do. This would be in the back section of the house. You see this? And what it would be similar to this, but I'd be making it different. And then keeping critters out of the garden. And we're going to be discussing this tonight. There's all sorts of remedies to keep the critters out of your garden. What I do is I'm going to get in and take everything out. I have chicken wire and I have a little fencing netting that goes around the entire garden to keep some of the critters out, but you don't keep the bugs out. The lettuce, you have to keep the rabbits out. We have rabbits. There's cumin. They say you can use cumin. They say you could protect young plants. We don't have a problem with chipmunks. We don't have chipmunks here, but that's one thing. What we do have a problem with is slugs. We have slugs here. And another one is spotting rabbits, what to do with the rabbits, which we'll go into, and keeping the rabbits out. That is with the mesh and stuff like that. And then, of course, you have cutworms, slugs, and others. See right there? This is what they say to do. We'll go into how to make homemade sprays, different concoctions and stuff like that. We'll go into that. A green growing fence, another portion. We're not going to have corn, but we're going to go into this and this in our thing. I got to come up here and show you. Okay, we have this. You see that? And that. That's the type of fence I have around my garden, and that's what I'll be showing you what we're doing. Then we have what they say to do is slug spottings. They say to do is to take beer and leave a little container of beer in the garden in a dish. You see this? Below that, right there. That's an idea. Okay? And we'll be doing that and showing you how it works. I'm going to try that to get the slugs, because the slugs get on them and they eat it. The cutworms eat it too. So that would stop that. Mosquito cloths we're not going to go into. We're going to try the spray, but keeping birds out of the garden. We'll look into this thing, keeping birds out of the garden, and they're talking about a pie tin. Okay, right there, and then planting flowers like roses and stuff like that. That may keep them away. That's the other stuff. There's cumin that you can use. Raccoon-proof your sweet corn. We don't have corn, but no ant. Allow no ants. Put out cinnamon thing. The ants won't go into your garden. You put that along the raised beds. We'll look into that. One more page. We'll also look into what raccoons hate. Raccoons do love sweet corn, but we're not going to plant corn. But they do go for other stuff. By me putting the pie tins, we'll go through all that stuff. By me putting the mesh around and everything else, we'll look into all this stuff. And we don't have a problem with woodpeckers, but if you do, you got to look into getting these garden books. Look on eBay and stuff like that. The garden club is not around anymore. But there was one other thing that I wanted to go into. Let me find it and we'll get right back to it. once the weather warms up, we'll be getting out there, and it will probably be in March. We will get to the beds, and we will look into. I'm going to save my eggshells, and they say slugs don't like eggs. Okay, you see that? We'll go into that. We'll also look into making a for the birds flowers for the birds for the flowers. The flowers that the birds like. We'll be making in that sanctuary. Hold on one second. What I will show you is I'm not going to make a compost bin like that, but I'll make one out of pallet wood, and I'm going to try to find out how to keep the predators out, because they will go into the beds. But we're going to talk about quick compost, okay? And this is all starting next month, in the month of March. So not this week coming, but next week. The first week in March, we'll be going into all this stuff. We'll be talking about mulching, composting, and mulching. That's basically what we're going to go into. And then, of course, how to plant, and we'll be going into how to start seeds and other plants. We'll be doing some stuff, and I believe Judy May Collins, is doing seeding now and taking the plants in, trying to get them to grow, which we'll start doing in a week, and we'll be putting them out and then putting them in a place to grow and stuff like that. For the next 2 weeks, we'll be concentrating on the garage, and then getting to the greenhouse and see what we can grow. How do you use tea bags? We'll use seed markers and stuff like that. I got seed markers from Dollar Tree, but I have a ton of these too, those are the popsicle sticks, which we'll be using also. I'm going to get the first book that we're going to go into, or what we're going to be doing, and then, of course, we'll be doing this. Let me see, where is it? Here we go. Pond pleasures. We'll be getting to that. How we fix the pond and everything else is going to be a very, very interesting season. How to make creative pots, which we'll be doing also. Putting all sorts of pots around and stuff around the garden beds, the 3 garden beds that I have. All this stuff that's on the side of the shed, which I show you and everything else, that will go behind the shed, and that will be where we have all the metal and extra stuff we have there. That's out of the way. We'll clean up the behind the shed and get that all done. We'll clean all the 3 beds. That should take like 2 to 3 days. We'll get each day, get in there and clean out one, another one, another one, another one. Only have 3 beds. I'm only planting so much I can plant. What we're gonna do is I'm gonna clean out the walkways I have between the plants, and we're gonna put attractive things so that they will all look attractive. Around the pond, there will be a nice flower garden and fairy garden set up that people will want to look at it. All right, so that's what we're doing. Going from there, and I have one more thing to show you. All those books and everything else shows you about container gardening, great backyards, and different ideas on a budget. Okay? What you can do. I found these books, and we're going to look into the books that I have and all the stuff that I'm going to place the book out and say, okay, we're going to try this. And I will have a plan. I will have a plan that this is what I want to do. Okay? And this is the plan. And we'll get the ideas from these magazines right here. And they're all stuff that I've already planned in my yard. And I would have been done with it in 2022, finishing it up in 2023, starting whatever. But I got so far behind, I caught up in 2023 and 2024. We cleaned out everything. We got everything done. We got everything cut down. So now it's my opportunity to do something like this. You'll see something similar to that, which I showed you in the thing. That's the secret garden. And I will be putting these reviews out. We'll be making a canopy and everything. You've seen that. And highlighting our garden beds as well. Highlighting our garden beds with planters all around and everything else. Will be going into all this stuff. That's one other thing in here. Of course, I won't go into this length, but we'll be doing something similar to this. We're doing a walkway. We'll be planting plants around our deck and everything else. Go into one of the other books. This is all stuff that's coming up this year on Garden Aquatics Remix. I will have a link to all these magazines and stuff like that in the thing when I start doing it. And a secret area that will have this one over here, that will have in the back behind the garage. We'll plan out a plan for a walkway and everything else like that. And then, of course, the container gardening, which these containers will be situated throughout the raised beds, one in between each one of them, and around the pond as well. Of course, on my front stoop, I have the front stoop. I have my 3 flower pots that we'll clean up, and we'll make a nice little fairy garden setup with some plants and stuff like that too. And of course, container gardening. Do some hanging plants. You see them? All sorts of ideas like this. We'll be doing something like this. Okay? You will see all this on this year. Getting it done. Not this elaborate, but around the pond and stuff like that, you'll see stuff right by the fence and along the fence. One more I want to show you. Making something like this out of reclaimed lumber. Okay? Should be a very interesting year. And all these books will be available. If I can get them, I will get them to you. I will put a link down below for all of them. And we'll be doing that as well. It should be a very interesting year for me and everything else. And you will see those chapters of that book. I will have the chapter up and we'll explain that we're going to do that over there where I have my bird feeders. I'm going to do this where I have my raised beds. I'm going to do this where I have my fence bed. And I will have them all named and everything else. And everything will get done for sure this year because I'm healthy, good and willing. I plan to spend at least 3 days a week in the yard, cleaning the yard. And the other days will be doing other projects, DIY projects for the yard, DIY projects for in front of the yard, making a lighthouse and everything else. Wait till you see the plans I have for the lighthouse with those pots. It's going to be very, very interesting. It's all has to do with the gnomes. That's all I'm going to tell you. It's not going to be a regular lighthouse. I'll have a lighthouse theme, gnome theme, with the gnomes in the garden around the pond. And I have gnomes in the front of the house. We'll be putting all sorts of ornamental stuff up and everything else. It should be a good year this year. So keep watching, like, comment, subscribe, ding that bell, let me know what you think. And don't forget, by giving me a like and commenting on my video, that helps with the algorithms. So if you don't want to comment, just give me a like, share the video out, let me know what you think, and I'll see you in the next one. Till next time, remember, all things are possible if you believe. You believe you can do something like this, go to your nearest Dollar Tree, or there's all sorts of books you can get. I will go into next week, I will go into all the seeds that I have and how I'm going to start containers and have them in the house or in the garage so that they grow so they won't freeze. That's why I got to get the garage cleaned up this week. I didn't do anything because I got the flu, and I am better, and we'll get back to that on Monday. So until then, Stephen F. signing off. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, ding that bell. Let me know what you think. All things are possible if you believe. You believe you can do something, do it. Try it. What do you got to lose? We'll show you inexpensive ways to do it, where to get seeds inexpensively, uh, what type of seeds to get, what for plants, how to make compost, all that stuff going forward. A nice bird sanctuary, uh, nice garden along your fence, and everything else inexpensively. That's what Garden Aquatics Remix is all about. I'll see you in the next video.